Hello everyone, my name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about Yet Do I Marvel by Countee Cullen. Now, before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. Yet Do I Marvel by Countee Cullen, really interesting poem here. Now, pretty much what the speaker is getting at here is that God created this universe, God created the planet, God created so many amazing things, and it's all great. And yes, I marvel at it, but at the same time, God made me a poet and He gave me all these talents, but at the same time, I have to experience suffering as a black man. So Countee Cullen, he's thinking about his existence. He's thinking about the reality that he lives in. He's thinking about the world around him. And, from a poet's perspective, from a man of many talents perspective, you're like, man, God made me smart. He made me talented. He made me, have these deep thoughts, but at the same time, I live in a society that hates me. I have all these struggles that I have to face. I have these, I live in a society where I'm not comfortable, where I have to struggle. So he's kind of contemplating like suffering and also the wonders of his creation, the fact that he exists, the fact that the world exists, the fact that God is doing all these things. He marvels at it all, but he's also thinking like, why do I have to suffer, or why do other things have to suffer? So I feel like it's an existential poem in that sense that you're thinking about God, you're thinking about your existence, you're thinking about how you fit into God's plan and how you fit into God's universe and how you fit into God's world, and why would God do this to you, to create you, to make you exist in a world where you can, provide so much to the culture, but at the same time you have a noose around your neck and you live in a society that doesn't accept you, and you have to struggle and fight to um to make it, or to exist within it. Now, in terms of deeper meaning and analysis here, Yet Do I Marvel, I think even this, with all the struggles, with all the suffering, with all the things that he's going through, he still chooses to marvel. It's not like he's rebelling against God. He's also, he's definitely looking at the universe. He's at all about it. He's thinking about it. But at the same time, he recognizes and acknowledges what he has to fight through to exist within the world that he exists in. Um, yeah, I mean it's not easy. Most people, who don't believe in God, they always cite, if God exists, why is there famine in the world? Why are there wars? Why does rape exist? Why does, human trafficking exist? Why do kids get, abused? Why are there pedophiles? Why are all these horrible things happening from time to time? If God exists, why does he do something about it? So, different religions have an explanation to this. From a Christian's perspective, God did do something about it. He crucified his son over it. And, well, there's the gospel that answers all these questions. And, different religions have different answers to human suffering. Buddhism, Islam, Judaism, in works of philosophy, they all have an answer to these issues that come up within this poem. Personally, for me, from my background as a Christian, I think the Christian belief is that, well, God does answer all these questions by crucifying his son and dying for the world because, well, the price of sin is death, and, you know, death comes with torment and suffering and poverty. And because from a Christian's perspective, if I can share that with you guys with my analysis of this poem, from a Christian's perspective, the reason why there's human suffering and all this kind of stuff, it's sin, because sin is death, and death is torment and suffering and poverty and yeah. So from a Christian's perspective, from a biblical perspective, there's an answer for all these sufferings that human beings of all kinds face. So that would answer the question there. But every religion has an answer to this. And philosophy has an answer to this, but some people who don't believe in God, they're like, I don't believe in God because why would God let all this happen? And why wouldn't he do something about it? But several religions do answer that question. So really, this poem can go very deep into, you know, causation, why do things happen? Why am I suffering? Why does life suck? Why do, all types of horrible things happen to people? The same way, Countee Cullen, or let's say the speaker, is saying to God, why did you make me black? Is the same way, another individual could say, well, why did I lose all my money? Or why am I poor? Or why do I live in a third world country? Or why was I sold into human trafficking? Or, why did you do this to me, God? A lot of times people will raise their fist and shake it at God. Why am I suffering? Um, and again, from the Christian perspective, it's like, well, sin, suffering, torment, punishment, it's all price of sin. But that's from the Christian perspective. So it is, in some ways, I would even say this kind of feels like a prayer. It's like, God, you're awesome. I believe in God. He exists. But at the same time, why did you make me this way? And why do I have to suffer? But, yet do I marvel at all of this because, well, it's quite extraordinary. So, again, there's a lot here within this poem, but that's all I had to say about it. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.